The recently released Epstein emails are making waves, and a lot of eyes are on the ones that mention President Donald Trump.
And are people still talking about this guy, this creep?
But it's not just Trump who's in the spotlight. Emails between Epstein and author Michael Wolff, who's written multiple books about Trump, have also been made public. And these exchanges are interesting, to say the least.
Have you ever had a personal relationship with Donald Trump?
What do you mean by personal relationships?
Have you socialized with him?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump in the presence of females under the age of 18?
Though I'd like to answer that question, at least today, I'm going to have to assert my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment rights, sir.
One email string seems to suggest that Trump had met some of Epstein's victims, but Epstein himself made a point of saying that the president never got a massage from them. In a particularly striking email Epstein sent to his own account in February 2019, months before his arrest on a high-profile criminal case, he mentioned a victim's name, redacted in the public documents, and noted that this person had worked at Mar-a-Lago. Epstein wrote that Trump knew of it and came to my house many times during that period, adding almost as a clarification, he never got a massage.
Other people would come and complain, this guy is taking people from the spa. I didn't know that. And then when I heard about it, I told him, I said, listen, we don't want you taking our people, whether it was spa or not spa. I don't want him taking people.
And then there's Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's longtime associate, who's reportedly preparing to ask Trump to commute her sentence. She's told federal officials that she never saw Trump in any inappropriate setting and never observed him receiving a massage from Epstein's victims. Trump, for his part, has consistently denied any wrongdoing or knowledge of Epstein's crimes. But the emails don't stop there. In conversations with Michael Wolff, Epstein talks about his connection to Trump during the time when Trump was gearing up for his first presidential campaign. In one 2015 exchange, Wolff writes to Epstein that CNN might ask Trump about their relationship, either on air or in scrum afterwards. And Epstein responds, "If we were able to craft an answer for him, what do you think it should be?" Wolff's reply is striking. "I think you should let him hang himself. If he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the House, then that gives you a valuable PR and political currency. You can hang him in a way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you. Or if it really looks like he could win, you could save him, generating a debt."
It's not a horrible human being.
Wolff then goes a step further, saying it's also possible Trump might respond by praising Epstein outright, calling him a great guy who's been unfairly targeted and is just another victim of political correctness, which is to be outlawed in a Trump regime. Fast forward to October 2016, just days before the US presidential election, and Wolff emails Epstein again, hinting at a chance to finish Trump. There's an opportunity to come forward this week and talk about Trump in such a way that could garner you great sympathy and help finish him. Interested? He writes. There are also emails between Epstein and author Michael Wolff from January 2019, during Trump's first term. Epstein wrote about Trump's claim that he had asked Epstein to resign from Mar-a-Lago. Trump said he asked me to resign. Never a member ever. Of course he knew about the girls as he asked Ghislaine to stop. The White House insists Trump barred Epstein from the club for being a creep, and Trump himself has said Epstein stole young women who worked at Mar-a-Lago, explaining why their association ended. Maxwell, meanwhile, denied recruiting at Mar-a-Lago during an interview earlier this year.
I just wish her well, frankly. I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well.
One of the emails even claims that Trump knew about the girls, apparently in reference to Trump's own statement that he had kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago for recruiting young women who worked at the club. Epstein also wrote, "I know how dirty Donald is," in a 2018 email to a former White House counsel under Obama. And if that wasn't enough, he didn't shy away from sharing his thoughts on Trump's mental state that same year. Of course, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt was quick to dismiss the emails.
These emails prove absolutely nothing other than the fact that President Trump did nothing wrong.
Meanwhile, Trump accused Democrats of bringing up Epstein just to deflect from their handling of the government shutdown. But let's take a closer look at what these emails actually say. In one April 2011 email to his longtime associate Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein wrote, "I want you to realize that that dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Victim spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned." The House Oversight Committee originally blurred out the victim's name, but the unredacted files reveal it was Virginia Giuffre, a well-known Epstein accuser who died by suicide earlier this year. The White House responded, saying Giuffre had repeatedly made it clear that President Trump was never involved in any wrongdoing and was nothing but friendly in their brief interactions. She said the same thing in a 2016 deposition, and in her memoir released this year, she didn't accuse him of anything.
Mr. President, did one of those stolen, persons, that include Virginia Giuffre?
I don't know. I think she worked at the spa.
When asked why her name was hidden, Representative Robert Garcia, the committee's lead Democrat, said they always protect victims' identities out of respect for their families. And Epstein's opinions on Trump's mental state? They were far from flattering. In a December 2018 email to former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers, Epstein called Trump borderline insane. But this wasn't a one-off remark. Just a month after Trump's inauguration in January 2017, he had written to a New York Times reporter, "That being said, Donald is crazy. I told you that."
Fake news.
Epstein also regularly exchanged thoughts on Trump's cognitive abilities with Catherine Ruemler, a former Obama White House counsel. For example, in March 2018, he forwarded her a Daily Beast article questioning Trump's stability, noting simply that it was accurate. And going back to July 2017, Rumler wrote, "Trump is truly stupid," to which Epstein replied casually, "Duh." Then there's a December 2018 email where Epstein warned that treating Trump like a mafia don ignored his great dangerous power, adding, "Tightening the noose too slowly risks a very bad situation. Not so with this maniac." He even suggested some people close to Trump agreed that he was borderline insane. And in January 2018, discussing the release of Michael Wolff's book about Trump, Epstein speculated Donald might have early dementia. After a reporter remarked, Trump sounded increasingly unhinged. The emails also show just how open Epstein was about sharing shocking details. In late 2015, he told a New York Times reporter he could produce photos of Donald and girls in bikinis in my kitchen. He even referenced a 20-year-old girlfriend from 1993 that he claimed he gave to Donald after 2 years. Epstein's 2003 birthday album had a similar joke about giving a fully depreciated woman to Trump.
And I was innocent. And here I am because I was able to beat all of the nonsense that was thrown at me.
And here's a wild detail. Nearly a month before Trump met Vladimir Putin in Helsinki in 2018, Epstein emailed that if Russia wanted to understand Trump, they should talk to him. He wrote to a former Prime Minister of Norway, "I think you might suggest to Putin that Lavrov can get insight on talking to me." Epstein even weighed in on the Helsinki summit, calling Trump predictable and saying, he thinks he has charmed his adversary. Admittedly, he has no idea of the symbolism. He has no idea of most things. Harsh.